Google Chrome. And there's a new feature in Google Chrome that is going to change how you use Chrome. It's going to be so exciting. So I'm going to start by going to gemini.google.com, and I'm going to search for create a lesson plan on figurative language for a 9th grade class who will use a D&D simulation, Dungeons and Dragons simulation, to learn about figurative language. Okay, right? So like many of you, I'm using AI to help get me some ideas, get me going. I should have used the plus sign and added some items from Drive or uploaded some files that I have. So it's really tailored around what I'm trying to teach. I'm actually a math teacher, so I don't teach figurative language, but no one wants to see a math lesson. Okay, so I've got a sample, something to start with. I'm going to scroll on down here. I'm going to use the 3 dots to choose export to docs. I'm going to export to docs. Okay. And I have the option to open docs. So I've got these side by side here, right? And so I'm able to start working on this lesson plan. It gave me a rough draft. I've got it in a Google Doc. That's awesome. But now I want to start building some other elements. You know, create a student sheet for students to create their character for the D&D activity that asks them to use figurative language. Okay. Now what I normally have to do here is I've got Gemini in one tab and I've got Google Docs in another tab. And what you're not going to be able to see here is that I'm going to right click on this Chrome tab. So when I right click on this Chrome tab, I get a sub menu. You're not going to see this menu in the recording, which is unfortunate, but the menu says, the first one says new tab to the right. I don't want a new tab to the right. The second option says add tab to new split view. Add tab to new split view. Now actually what I want to do is I want to do that on the Gemini tab. So I'm going to add that one, new split view with the current tab. And you'll see I now have them side by side. So I had opened my Google Doc and I wanted it side by side with my Google Gemini. So I right clicked on the tab for Google Gemini and they're now actually in the same tab. You see they're perfectly side by side. So I have my lesson plan and now I've got my student activity sheet. Just going to go ahead and copy this. I'm not sure it doesn't show me the copy thing down at the bottom. Copy this. Now over in my Google Doc, in that sidebar, I have document tabs. So this first document tab is my lesson plan. I'm going to add another tab. I love tabs. I like to organize all of my things together with these different pages. If I'm in Google Gemini and I choose to share to a Google Doc, then every little bit that I iterate goes into a new Google Doc, which sometimes I want. But to me, it's really helpful to just have it right here in this one Google Doc where everything is organized together. I have all of the different elements. I'm going to paste that in there. So now I'm able to, on the left-hand side here, be using Google Gemini, have it help me with some ideas to correct my spelling typos, different things. A lot of times, in fact, not a lot of times, pretty much always, I take what I'm writing and I paste it into Gemini just to make sure that my grammar is correct and I spelled sheet correctly, because sometimes you accidentally wet the sheet and it accidentally autocorrects to something you didn't want. So I really love to use AI just to help me to make sure everything looks grammatically correct, and then I can just paste that over into my Google Doc and clean it up. So you can see that I have 2 tabs here. This one's my student character sheet. And I just double clicked. When you add a tab, you can double click and rename the tab, which is, of course, super helpful. Okay, so now I have them. I have 2 tabs actually in one tab. Love that. That's going to change completely how I use Chrome for 2026. I'm going to come back up and I'm going to right click on that double tab that's going on. And again, you can't see the menu, but the second option says arrange split view. So one of the options in arrange split view is to reverse views. So you can see put the Google Doc on the left and I've got Google Gemini on the right. I'm going to right click. I'm going to choose arrange split view. I'm going to separate the views. And now my tabs, I have Google Docs in one tab, Gemini in a separate tab, and they are no longer side by side. So this is my new thing I'm going to be doing here. Notice again, I'm in Gemini. I'm right clicking on the Google Doc and I'm choosing new split view with the current tab. Boom, split view, right click, separate the views, back to the two tabs. Game changer is going to really up my productivity. I hope that you love this feature.